Hi, it's Jason Faulkner. This is my longer video. I'm just sitting around waiting for it to warm up. It's supposed to be 66 today. I need to go fishing to take some videos of my newest featherweight fishing cart. The cart I can lift with two fingers. My Universal Shop Weasel Salamander folding travel cart is what I'm talking about. So anyway, I got my birds fed. I gave them the last of the bird feed I'm buying them this year. They seem very appreciative. I'm just sitting around waiting for it to warm up, drinking coffee, and contemplating motivating information into furthering my business success. So I've made several videos inquiring about a business loan yesterday. Here comes a squirrel. Anyway, I have other options besides plastic injection molding to make my lightweight folding travel cart frame. Of course, I'm going to make a version out of aluminum. But the main regular heavy-duty version, I'm thinking about, because I have other interests to pursue and desires and technologies to explore and innovation to create and strike. So, I'm thinking also, besides plastic injection molding, because it takes basically a locomotive-sized machine to build the part I would need. Even though I'd probably wind up building a bunch of different stuff with it also. I'm not knocking it, but at the same time, there's investors to consider and sway. And some of them out there might be interested in technologies concerning resin molding and exploring the sciences of that and what it can do. And I am very smart and one of the most industrious people around in pushing the envelope of the unknown. And I know I could make a nice, sturdy, lightweight frame, heavy-duty version out of resins and exotic materials or just commonly readily available materials. A lot of stuff, whether it succeeds or fails, is in the approach. You know, what you know and what you're willing to explore and your ideals, you know. And I fire off some very good ideals. So, that would save me from investing heavily in a plastic injection outfit, which is super expensive, highly technical. It requires molds, heavy steel molds, especially for a part as large as I need. And my cart isn't large. Just when you're injecting with plastics, the minimalist size things require huge amounts of large machinery. And I would like to avert that myself, having to either buy expensive molds made out of steel and highly intricate architecture incorporated into it for cooling and injection runs, paths for molten plastic to flow through. It's a big pain. Where resin molding is a lot more friendlier, easily more explorable, faster turnaround when you are exploring with those technologies. You can make a darn fine product with minimalist, resistance. So I'm willing to lean toward that direction too, and I might either way. I might do both. Who knows? I know environmentally, any governing body of business associates have been trained to cry environment regardless of what you do. YouTube's bloated with videos about everything's dying and we're doing it. I don't buy that. I don't buy into it a bit, but when it makes people millions, billions, and trillions of dollars, they do. Because it's convenient. It's convenient to add into any video, edit in doom and gloom and hearsay. So, and when it's them mostly doing all the activities that promote their qualifying power that enriches their message, so whatever, it's fumey, so what? It's a big town, Morristown, Tennessee. I'll make it unfumey. I guarantee you it's less fumey than the chicken plant. But it could be baffled and muffled and recycled and cast through my powder coating machine to sterilize the fumes. So whatever. And the dust, it can be recycled into the product as fillers. So I'm good. I think I could probably make a lighter weight frame anyway out of resins and fiber or a material that I choose to use as a filler. You never know what that would be, but I'm pretty confident I can make a lighter weight frame, probably much more appealing to me than plastic injection molding. So, plus I've got other ambitions to build yachts, boats, or who knows, and that would go hand in hand with my future ambitions. Now, I'm battling many things on many fronts in my quest to succeed. We know I already have great, viable products. I know that. Anyone that sees my videos should know that. So, I'm more interested in this point at securing the finances to push it forth. And I need $2 million loan, or I'm really hoping someone will come along. It's a big headache, the road that me establishing my own manufacturing would be, versus an existing manufacturer saying, hey, I like his products, let's invest in this guy. Satisfy what he's wanting for us to obtain his rights to make these goods and pay him his dollar royalty per each item we sell quarterly. I sort of hope someone would do that, because that would forego a lot of problems for me of hiring people, putting up with the hubris of the political conditioning that the average person succumbs to in our society, and having to work around all that mush while you're trying to get a person to perform a task for you in an employment fashion, These heavily medicated population we live amongst, and these conditioned people that have had good grace placed upon them and going along with the flow of basically tyranny and whims of an oligarch, that must be murder to try to staff and train and get benefits from in a manufacturing setting for your own personal interest. And they're a very silent people too, They keep to themselves. They're not very communicable. And, it seems the only people that rise to the surface to interact with outsiders that haven't succumbed to that sort of conditioning are police, I had a call yesterday, a fake call from one of these retired bored police guys pretending to be a person with a broken truck. And it's the same bored guy that's been calling me for years. and he fakes his voice when he calls and tries to add a little more frailty to it, stuff like that. I told him I'm not interested. I was out there digging worms, seeing how my worms were looking in my compost pile when he called. I just sort of blew him off. Said, no, I'm not interested. Okay. But it's the same guy that cussed me openly in previous calls over the years in a sadistic manner. It's one of these gray-haired, retired big wigs that is sort of loose in the head with not too many marbles rattling around. But I just blew him off. One of these days he won't be able to make calls and annoy the general public. He's getting up there either way. Whoever he is, just some weirdo. There's a handful of them around that just, they've amalgamated together and they know they're great, and it just gets their kicks to annoy people with baloney calls. And they've got a handful of peons from their active years, a list of scumbags they flipped that they use still, the ones that are still around. They send them out to pretend to be interested in stuff, and it's just distasteful. I don't go for any of that, so I blow them off. That's just the environment, this striated beltway America of ours. So anyway, I'm back to my focus of manufacturing. If I had a choice, I would definitely have someone just buy me out, give me my money up front and the royalty per unit. But I'm willing to go the other way too. I've got viable products. I know I can manufacture them. I don't know if I can obtain a local workforce to do it, but I would try. And who knows how that would go. There's the sun. Well, my video is getting long, and you know my intent now. Using resins to make my cart frame, and maybe the handles too. Who knows? I'm satisfied with my steel handle, but I'll have to get a square tube bender to make the handles, which ain't nothing. If you got the right piece of equipment to do a job, it's going to do it for you. You just have to learn its function and meddle with it until it satisfies you with what it's doing. Which, whatever. I can make probably a resin-infused material half the weight of my metal one. I don't like considering that with that thin of an object, because I know the characteristics of the resins, but they're pretty strong. But with my cart, I've dead stopped it about 10 times now when I've been using it, where there's that odd crack or rise in your way, and you just happen to be looking off at something else and you hit it. I mean, that's a very violent shock to that cart. And it lets you know you've hit something. And, if it's that 1.5 inch unevenness in the sidewalk that you just happen to slam against, you better have a well-built cart. And I do. It didn't hurt it. It's built to be banged up a little bit, That's just the nature of traveling and working. But any improvements I make to it's got to be in the right direction. Lighter, better, a good quality, or I won't even think about it. Well, there it is. You need $2 million and 2 years to pay it back, which I'm offering $3 million back. But more so, I'm looking for existing manufacturers and investors that want to make gobs of money off my fine products. That's what they're there for. Jason Faulkner, East Tennessee. More videos will be coming today. I'm only catching and releasing fish today to amplify the fine characteristics of my cart as a fishing machine. I hope I catch a bunch of big ones, but I'll be letting loose everything I catch today. I'll be pretty wore out by the time I walk down there and back and video all this, and I don't feel like messing with skinning fish and all that. I've got cans of tuna already in my pantry. All right, thank you, Jason Faulkner, East Tennessee, Shop Weasel. Have a good day.